so I had to go by the post office.
My name is John Denny. I'm retired from Local 300 of the Mail Handlers Union. Next week from June 25th through June 28th, rank and file postal workers, community activists from all over the country are going to converge on Washington on the postal headquarters at 475 L'Enfant Plaza to call attention to the planned theft of the People's Post Office by the 1% and their allies in Congress. There are about 10 guys who will actually go without food for the whole 4 days. And myself, I'm not going down till Thursday the 28th, at which time I will try to effect the citizen's arrest on Postmaster General Donahoe. Specific scene of the crime was Frederick, Maryland in November of 2011. And Postmaster Donahoe and those managers acting in concert with him closed down the mail processing facility in Frederick. Shipped the mail to Baltimore, 50 miles away. Baltimore couldn't handle it. They were swamped. They were overwhelmed. And mail was backed up all over the place. Specifically, first-class mail sitting on trailers for 10 days or more. That's a very serious criminal violation of Title 18 U.S. Code, Section 1701, obstruction of the mail, and 1703, willful delay of the mail. When I was a mail handler for 14 years, and before that a letter carrier for 14 years, if I had delayed one letter willfully or obstructed the mails, and they caught me, the postal inspectors would have taken me out of the building in handcuffs. And well, they should, because I'm violating the sanctity of the mails. I'm violating federal law. This guy, Donahoe, who I believe is a Trojan horse, I believe he's in the pay of the interests that want to privatize the People's Post Office. But this guy can delay first-class mail on trailers for 10 days, and nobody seems to want to do anything about it. Several of us have written letters, I know I have, to the Office of Inspector General, to the Chief Postal Inspector. I've written to the U.S. Attorney for the District in Maryland, and they keep bouncing it around. The guy's still loose. And what he wants to do, this crime is going to be replicated 229 times over the next couple of years, because what happened in Frederick is going to be repeated all over the country when Donahoe and his people start closing these mail processing centers. They're planning to close half of our nation's mail processing centers, a system that took decades to build. They're going to close it down in a couple of years. They themselves admit that the Postal Service cannot possibly maintain any sort of service standards with their network gutted and cut in half. Now, why would they be doing this? They're going to drive away customers. They're already driving away customers. He just announced that July 1st, there is no more overnight delivery of single-piece first-class mail. That's a big thing. That's the first domino in the falling down of the service standards. People complain about slow mail. If right now the standard from, let's say, from Manhattan to Manhattan is overnight, July 1st it's not going to be anymore. This is going to ripple out, and he's going to degrade the standards even further. It's going to be 2 days to get a letter delivered, 3 days to get it delivered, 4 days, a week.
My name is Sharon Eolas. I work for Community Labor United for Postal Jobs and Services, as you can see on my sign.
When was that group formed?
That group was formed in the past year, and we've had several demonstrations. Both
Community Labor, how did that come together?
It came together because we're people who are concerned about the job loss at the post office and the community's involvement, because it's communities, especially in the Bronx, where they're going to close 17 post offices in the next period of time. In Chelsea, 2 post offices are being closed.
Oh, which ones?
The one on 18th Street between 7th and 8th Avenue, and the one on 9th Avenue and 15th Street.
When are those closing?
They're on the closing list as of right now.
But we don't know when?
I don't know. it looks like what's happening is the actual announcement of the formal closings is going to come after the elections in November.
Oh, okay.
But it's already more than rumored, it's fact, that they're already closing facilities, especially the plants, where the mail is sorted and then sent back out to the boroughs.
Right.
It used to be every borough had the sorting done in their individual borough, and then the mail carriers picked up the mail and got it out. Now the mail, some of those plants are closed, and they're bringing it either into Manhattan or to a different borough for the sorting, and the mail carriers have to wait till it comes back out before they can do their routes.
Very inefficient.
Not only very inefficient, it means mail carrier comes in at 7 or 8 in the morning, and he doesn't get mail to go out till maybe noon or later, and then he's there till 7 or 8 at night trying to do his mail route, which is required to do.
What do you think the strike will accomplish?
What? Tell me
What do you think the hunger strike will accomplish?
Well, I hope it will put the issue on the map. The hunger strike is saying this is what you're doing to the postal workers, putting them on red lines because you're taking away their jobs. You're talking about taking away 200,000 postal jobs, and that's the beginning of it. And the overall goal is to close the post office and have it go to be privatized to private services like UPS and other private services that are available at a much higher cost.
Right.
And right now they're closing post offices across the country, but especially in rural areas where the post office is a location where people meet, where they can get their mail, their medicines, their checks, and everything else. And in areas where people don't have any other options to where they would go to be able to get their mail.
What neighborhood do you live in?
I live in the Chelsea neighborhood.
Oh, they want to shut this down?
Not this one, but they closed 34 post offices in New York. They already cut this hours here from 24 to about 9. So if they close 34 more post offices, you can imagine what kind of service you're going to have. They're trying to get rid of Saturday mail, which is going to mean that you're going to have a problem with your medicine and problem with another workforce being cut. So if they cut 34 in New York, 17 in the Bronx, that's what they're planning on doing here.
Now, whose idea is this?
This is the U.S. Postal Service and,
who's
and
mandating?
the Congress now. Well, it came from 206 from the Bush administration.
Okay.
But they took it up, and Congress and everyone want to treat it as a corporation, but it's a service. And we're saying it should stay.
I actually live in New Jersey. They're doing the same thing there, and it upsets. I stopped because I'm a post office person. Like I pay all my bills the old way with the stamps.
With the stamps, with
and I go
money
to
orders,
and they're doing the same thing in Jersey, and it's very disturbing because I hate the fact that they're raising. I always get the forever stamps, but it seems like the forever's never forever because they're always raising.
They're always raising the rate, yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense that they're raising the prices, but then not going to be open. It's like yeah, and it's putting people I know. I have friends that work in the Jersey City area post office, and they're not happy with it either.
They're not happy with it.
No, they're not.
Well, see, it's a couple of things. We're putting people out of work, services to the community, which the postal workers spend money in the community, and it's taking people pension plans away, their security from their job. And the post office wouldn't have. They sell stamps. They don't get a grant. No, my wife is a teacher, so her medicine comes through the mail. You know,
so do mine.
Save the post office. Going to Washington, D.C. Save the post office.
Save the postal service. Save the service. Save the post office. Join us.